I heard my mother-in-law whisper, "Just 5 more minutes, and it'll look natural." My husband's girlfriend had her hand on my oxygen tube while my own husband stood at the foot of the bed watching. I was in labor fighting for breath, and it hit me. The people in my delivery room weren't here to help me, they were trying to kill me. My name is Gabriella, and before that night, I was the stubborn only child of a self-made billionaire so desperate to prove I wasn't just my father's money that I married the man he warned me about and cut him out of my life. My dad, Daniel, built his company from nothing. People call him controlling, but I knew the man who showed up, who made me read fine print so no one could use me. He taught me to trust my gut. Then I met Kevin. Kevin was everything my dad wasn't. Charming, soft-spoken, polished, always saying he loved that I worked with my hands instead of flaunting my last name. For 6 months, it was flowers trips, late-night confessions. When he proposed, I said yes without pausing. My father ran a background check, found gambling debts, and a pattern with rich women begged me to slow down. I heard judgment, not protection. I told him if he couldn't support my choice, he could stay home. He did. Our first year looked fine online. Underneath, Kevin slowly pulled the rug out. He questioned why I worked, said my friends were fake, my dad was toxic, that people only liked me for my money. Anytime I pushed back, he went cold, then came back with apologies until I started doubting myself. One day I looked around and realized I didn't see my friends anymore. It was just him. Then I got pregnant. That little plus sign felt like a reset. Kevin cried, called me his miracle. A week later, his mother Diane moved in to help and planted herself in every decision. She criticized my food, my doctor, my schedule, and Kevin always took her side. At 7 months, I saw a text pop up on Kevin's phone from Ashley. "Once the policy hits, it's just us." My hands shook as I opened the thread. Months of messages, ugly jokes about the wife, Ashley calling me the situation, talk about a life insurance policy in my name that would set them up, lines about how complications in childbirth happen all the time. When I confronted him, he called me hormonal, invaded, deleted everything, punched a wall for drama, then collapsed, crying that it was just talk, that he loved me, that he'd fix it. I wanted to believe him, but something in me finally went still. That night, I called my father for the first time in almost 2 years. He answered on the first ring. No lecture, just listening. When I mentioned the policy, his voice hardened. He told me he'd quietly had someone watch from a distance after I left, not to spy, but to be sure I was safe, and what they found, debts, lies, forged looking forms, scared him. "Gabriella," he said, "do not confront him again. Save what you can. And when you go into labor, call me. Promise." I promised. Then labor hit at 3 a.m., and in the panic I called Kevin, not my dad. He and Diane rushed me to a private hospital I hadn't chosen, all soft lights and quiet halls. They hooked me up. When the baby's heart dipped, they gave me oxygen and things steadied. The doctor stepped out. The nurse stepped out. Kevin came back in with Ashley. "She wanted to support us," he said. A contraction tore through me when the nurse asked if I was okay with her staying, and Kevin cut in, "She's family." The nurse hesitated, then left. The room went wrong. Diane moved in front of the door. Ashley stepped close to my bed. The baby's heart rate flickered. The oxygen helped, I clung to it. Then Ashley's fingers touched the tube. The flow slowed. My chest burned. The beeping sped up. I reached for the call button and watched Diane calmly move it to the far counter. "Just 5 more minutes, and it'll look natural," she whispered. In that instant, every doubt vanished. This was the plan. My vision tunneled, my arms wouldn't move, and all I could think was, my dad warned me, I put myself here. Right before it all went black, the door slammed open so hard the wall shook. Get away from my daughter, now! My father was there with hospital security. He ripped Ashley's hand off the tube, hit the call button, ordered staff back in like he owned the place. Oxygen flooded my lungs. The baby's heart rate climbed. The doctor rushed in, furious and focused. While I was pushing, my dad was in the hall with police handing over a file, Kevin's debts, the forged life insurance policy messages and records tying Ashley and Diane into it. The hospital pulled security footage showing them blocking the door and moving the call button. It all lined up. By the time my daughter was born, crying and healthy, Kevin, Ashley, and Diane were in cuffs. Months later, a jury called it what it was: attempted murder and fraud. Kevin went away. So did they. I got full custody, a divorce, and a chance to rebuild. I moved into my dad's house for a while. We yelled, we cried, we owned our parts. He became the grandfather who rocks my little girl at 3 a.m. and tells her she's worth protecting. I rebuilt my business this time with clearer eyes, letting him advise me without letting anyone control me. I named my daughter Hope because that night she gave me a reason to finally see the truth. Do I hate them? No. They're sitting with their choices. I refuse to let them live rent-free in mine. What I hold on to is this: my instincts were right, my father was right, and pride almost got me killed. So let me ask you, if someone who truly loves you put real evidence in front of you that your partner was dangerous, would you leave, or would you wait like I did and almost not live to regret it? Tell me in the comments what you think about what my dad did, too much, or exactly what a parent should do. Share this with someone. Ignoring red flags, and hit subscribe if you want more real stories about survival, justice, and finally believing what people show you the first time.